Hello, and welcome to Mindful English Talks. Have you ever woken up, grabbed your phone, and suddenly realized an hour has passed, and you feel rushed, stressed, and behind before your day has even started? Today we are going to change that by exploring how to build a morning routine that gives you energy, focus, and a feeling of peace, all while improving your English. Imagine starting your day with intention, feeling calm and prepared, not chaotic and late. That's the power we are going to unlock together. It's not about waking up at 5 in the morning or doing 100 things before breakfast. It's about finding a few small, simple actions that make a huge difference. What would your ideal morning feel like? Can you picture it? Maybe it's quiet, maybe it's full of energy, or maybe it's just 5 minutes of peace just for you. Many people believe that a good morning is something that just happens. But the truth is, we can create it. Your morning sets the tone for your day. A calm start often leads to a more focused and productive day, while a stressful start can make everything feel more difficult. How does your current morning routine make you feel? Are you happy with it, or do you wish something was different? Let's explore this together. We will look at why routines are so powerful for our brains and our happiness. Think about this. Adding just one new English word to your morning routine means you learn over 360 new words in a year. A tiny action with a big result. Let's do a quick practice right now. Take a deep breath and say this sentence out loud with me. My morning is my time. How did that feel? Saying our intentions out loud can be very powerful. Another small thing you can do is to write down one simple goal for tomorrow morning. It could be something like, I will drink a glass of water before I check my phone. Just one sentence. This small act of writing connects your mind to your goal. What is one small thing you could do tomorrow morning to make it just 1% better? Don't think too big. Think simple. Maybe it's listening to 1 minute of an English podcast while you make coffee. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. By the end of this episode, you will have a clear, simple plan to build a morning routine that you actually enjoy and can stick with. One that helps you feel good and boosts your English skills at the same time. This journey is about making small changes that create a big impact on your life and your learning. So we know that a good morning routine can be powerful, but if it's so great, why is it so hard to start one and even harder to continue it? Have you ever felt really motivated on a Sunday night? Plan to wake up early on Monday to exercise or study, and then when the alarm rings, you just hit the snooze button? You are not alone. This is one of the most common barriers people face. We often feel tired in the morning, especially when it's dark and cold outside. Our warm bed feels much better than the idea of doing something difficult. What is the biggest reason you find it hard to wake up and start your day? Is it tiredness or something else? Another big challenge is feeling like you don't have enough time. Life is busy. Perhaps you have to get children ready for school or you have a long commute to work. The idea of adding more things to your morning can feel overwhelming. You might think, I only have 30 minutes before I have to leave. I can't possibly fit in a routine. But what if a routine only took 5 minutes? Would that feel more possible? Let me tell you a little story about Alex. Alex is a university student who felt completely overwhelmed. With exams coming up, he felt stressed from the moment he woke up. He would grab his phone, see messages about study groups, and immediately feel anxious. He tried to wake up an hour earlier to study, but he was too tired and just couldn't do it. He felt like a failure. Does this sound familiar? One day, he decided to try something different. He decided to start small, really small. Instead of a full hour of studying, he promised himself he would just read one page of his textbook while drinking his morning tea. Just one page? The first day he did it, it only took 3 minutes. It wasn't much, but for the first time in weeks, he felt a small sense of control. He started his day with a tiny win. This is the magic of starting small. Start small, win big. Many of us think we need to make huge changes to see results, but the opposite is often true. A 20-minute routine can feel impossible, but a 2-minute routine feels easy. What is the smallest possible action you could take tomorrow morning? Could you stretch for just 1 minute? Could you write one sentence in your journal? A simple practice you can try is to write down all the things that stop you. Maybe it's your phone, feeling tired, or lack of a plan. Seeing them on paper can help you understand your challenges better. Then you can speak your intention into your phone's voice recorder. Tomorrow, I will not check my phone for the first 10 minutes I am awake. Hearing your own voice can make your commitment stronger. When we understand our barriers, we can start to build a plan that works around them, not against them. Now that we understand what stops us, let's focus on the most important secret to building a routine that lasts, starting incredibly small. I want you to remember this phrase because it is the key to everything. 5 minutes is better than 0. We often overestimate what we can do in one day and underestimate what we can do in 1 month of small, consistent actions. Imagine you want to learn to play the guitar. If you try to practice for 2 hours on the first day, your fingers will hurt, and you will probably feel frustrated. You might not want to play again for a week, but what if you practiced for just 5 minutes every single day? After a week, you would have practiced for 35 minutes. After a month, that's over 2 hours of focused practice, done in a way that feels easy and enjoyable. Which method do you think is more likely to lead to success? This same idea applies to your morning routine and your English learning. A 5-minute routine every day is more powerful than a 1-hour routine once a month. Start small, win big. So how do we put this into practice? Let's talk about a simple but powerful tool, the habit tracker. You can draw a simple calendar in a notebook or print one from the internet. Each day you complete your tiny morning habit. You put a big check mark or a star on that day. The goal is simple. Don't break the chain. Seeing a chain of successful days is incredibly motivating. It shows you that your small efforts are adding up. What happens if you miss a day? Life is not perfect, and sometimes you will miss a day. That's completely okay. The important rule is to never miss 2 days in a row. If you miss Monday, just make sure you do your small routine on Tuesday. Don't let one missed day make you feel like you have failed. Just start again tomorrow. Kindness to yourself is very important. What is one tiny habit you could track for the next 7 days? Maybe it's writing one sentence in English. If you wrote one new sentence every day, you would have over 360 new sentences by the end of the year. That's amazing progress from a 2-minute action. Here is a micro practice for you. Think of one habit for tomorrow. Now say it out loud. Tomorrow morning, I will listen to 1 minute of English news. Speaking it makes it real. And when you are listening, don't try to understand everything. Just try to catch one new word or one interesting phrase. That's your only goal. This removes the pressure and makes learning feel like a game. What do you think? Does this feel more manageable than a big, scary goal? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and your journey to a peaceful, productive morning begins with just one small action. Let's start designing your perfect 5-minute morning routine. The key is to see it not as a list of tasks you must do, but as a menu of options you can choose from. You don't need to do everything. You just need to pick 1 or 2 things that make you feel good. Think of your routine having 4 possible ingredients: hydration, movement, mindfulness, and learning. Let's look at each one. First, hydration. Our bodies are dehydrated after a long night of sleep. Drinking a glass of water before you do anything else is one of the simplest and most effective ways to wake up your body and brain. It's a tiny action that takes less than 30 seconds. Could this be your first step? Next is movement. This doesn't mean you have to go for a 5-kilometer run. It just means waking up your body. It could be 2 minutes of simple stretching by your bed. It could be doing 10 jumping jacks, or it could be just putting on one song you love and dancing in your kitchen while you wait for your coffee. How could you add just 2 minutes of movement to your morning? Gentle movement sends blood to your brain, helping you to feel more awake and focused. Let's try a powerful combination right now, what I call the 7-minute package. For the first 2 minutes, I want you to stand up and do some gentle stretching. Reach your arms up high, then touch your toes. Roll your shoulders back. Just move your body in a way that feels good. For the next 5 minutes, you can put on a short English podcast or a song and just listen. You're combining movement and learning. This simple 7-minute package can completely change your energy for the day. Doesn't that sound better than scrolling through social media? The third ingredient is mindfulness. This is about calming your mind. It could be 5 deep breaths, writing down 3 things you are grateful for, or just sitting in silence for 2 minutes with your eyes closed. How does the idea of starting your day with calm instead of chaos feel? A simple writing practice is to complete this sentence in a notebook. Today, I am looking forward to. This focuses your mind on the positive. Finally, learning. This is where your English practice comes in. It could be reviewing 5 vocabulary flashcards, reading 1 paragraph of an English news article, or writing 1 sentence about your plans for the day. For example, if you choose to read, don't pressure yourself to understand every word. Just get a general idea of the topic. What is one small learning activity you could enjoy for 5 minutes? Remember, you only need to pick 1 or 2 things from this menu. Your routine could be as simple as drink water, then read 1 page in English. That's it. That's a complete, powerful morning routine. Over time, as it becomes a habit, you might want to add another element, but for now, keep it simple. Your morning sets the tone for your day, and a simple, intentional routine is the best way to make it a good one. One of the biggest enemies of a peaceful morning routine is the distraction. And what is the number one distraction for most of us? Our phone. How many times have you picked up your phone just to check the time, and then 45 minutes later, you are watching videos or scrolling through social media? It happens to all of us. The phone is designed to grab our attention. That's why creating a distraction-free environment, even for just 10 or 15 minutes, is so important. Let's talk about a simple anti-distractions protocol you can use. It has 3 simple steps. First, put your phone on silent and, if possible, move it to another room while you do your routine. If you use your phone for an alarm, that's fine. Turn the alarm off and then don't touch it again. The goal is to create a small window of time where you are not reacting to notifications and messages. How does the idea of a phone-free 10 minutes in the morning sound to you? Second, find one quiet corner in your home. It doesn't have to be a special room. It can be a chair in your living room, a spot on your kitchen floor, or even your balcony. This becomes your dedicated space for your morning routine. When you go to this spot, your brain knows it's time to focus. Where could your quiet corner be? Third, use a visible timer. It could be a kitchen timer or an old-fashioned clock. Set it for the amount of time you've decided on. Maybe it's 7 minutes or 10 minutes. When you see the timer counting down, your brain is more likely to stay focused on the task. You know there is an end point which makes it feel less overwhelming. Let me tell you about Maria. Maria is a working mom with 2 young children. Her mornings were pure chaos. From the moment she woke up, she was making breakfast, packing lunches, and getting everyone ready. She felt like she had 0 time for herself. She wanted to practice her English because she was hoping for a promotion at work, but it felt impossible. Then she tried the anti-distraction protocol. She decided to wake up just 15 minutes before her children. She left her phone in the kitchen, took her cup of tea to a small chair by the window, and set a timer for 10 minutes. For those 10 minutes, she would read an English news article on her tablet. No interruptions. No social media, just her tea, and her English practice. At first it was hard, but after a week, those 10 minutes became the calmest part of her day. She felt more prepared to handle the morning chaos, and her reading skills slowly improved. She started learning 3 to 4 new words every single day. That's over 20 new words a week. What could you achieve with just 10 focused minutes each morning? Here's a practice for you. Tonight, before you sleep, prepare your quiet corner. Decide where it will be. And tomorrow, try the protocol. Just 5 minutes, no phone, quiet space, visible timer. See how it feels? You might be surprised by how much peace and focus you can find in such a short amount of time. So you've decided to start small and you have a plan to manage distractions. Now, how do you build this small habit into something more substantial without feeling overwhelmed? The answer is the minute escalator plan. It's a simple, gentle way to increase the length of your routine over 2 weeks, so your brain barely notices the change. It's all about slow, steady progress. Are you ready to see how it works? For the first 3 days, you will keep your routine to just 5 minutes. That's it. The goal here is not to achieve a lot, but simply to show up. Consistency is more important than intensity. You are teaching your brain that this new habit is easy and non-threatening. What will your 5 minutes include? Maybe it's 2 minutes of stretching and 3 minutes of listening to an English song. Remember to mark your success in your habit tracker. Don't break the chain. After those 3 days, for days 4 to 7, you will escalate to 8 minutes. You are adding just 3 extra minutes. During this time, you can add one small speaking moment. For example, after listening to your English audio for 5 minutes, spend the last 3 minutes summarizing what you heard out loud. You could say something simple like, "The podcast was about morning routines. The speaker said it's important to start small." It doesn't need to be perfect. You are just activating the speaking part of your brain. How does adding a short speaking practice feel to you? Next, for days 8 to 10, you will increase to 10 minutes. You can now introduce a short listening and writing combination. Listen to a short clip, maybe for 3 or 4 minutes. Then, for the next 6 minutes, write a 2-sentence summary of what you heard. This practice connects your listening and writing skills. Again, you are building on your previous habit in a very gentle way. You could also use these 10 minutes to try the 7-minute package we talked about, with a few extra minutes for writing down one new phrase you heard. Does that sound like a good use of 10 minutes? Finally, for days 11 to 14, you escalate to 15 minutes. By now, your routine is becoming a solid habit. In these 15 minutes, you could include one fun item and one useful item. For example, you could spend 7 minutes watching a funny English video on YouTube. That's the fun part. And the next 8 minutes writing down 5 new words you heard and creating a sentence for each one. That's the useful part. By the end of 2 weeks, you have successfully built a 15-minute morning routine without it ever feeling difficult. You went from 5 minutes to 15 minutes, step by step. What would you include in your 15-minute routine? This escalator method is powerful because it respects your brain's natural resistance to change. It makes the change so small that your brain accepts it easily. You start small, and then you win big. Building a new habit is one thing, but making it stick for the long term is the real challenge. How do we make sure our new morning routine becomes a permanent part of our life? There are 2 powerful tools we can use: accountability and rewards. Let's start with accountability. This means sharing your goal with someone else. When we know someone is going to ask us about our progress, we are much more likely to do what we promised. Who is one person you could share your goal with? It could be a friend, a family member, or a classmate. You could send them a simple message once a week, maybe every Friday, saying, "Hey, I completed my morning routine 4 times this week." This simple act of reporting makes your commitment real. It also gives you a chance to celebrate your progress with someone else. If you don't have a person to share with, you can become your own accountability partner by writing a letter to your future self. Take a piece of paper and write a short letter to the person you will be in 3 months. You could write something like, "Dear future me, I hope you are still enjoying your calm mornings. I started this routine to feel more focused and improve my English for our trip to London. I hope we are feeling more confident now. Reading this letter later can be a powerful reminder of your why. Why did you start this journey in the first place? What is your big motivation? The second tool is rewards. Our brains are wired to repeat actions that lead to a reward. When you successfully complete your routine for a week, give yourself a small, healthy reward. It doesn't have to be big or expensive. It could be watching your favorite movie, buying a new book, or trying a new coffee shop on the weekend. What is one small reward that would motivate you? By rewarding yourself, you are creating a positive feedback loop. Your brain starts to connect the morning routine with a good feeling, which makes you want to do it again. Remember our mantra, start small, win big. This applies to rewards too. A small reward for a week of consistent effort is a great way to acknowledge your hard work. And please be kind to yourself. There will be days when you miss your routine. Don't get discouraged. Remember our rule, never miss twice. Just start again tomorrow. Every day is a new opportunity to make a good choice for yourself. Your morning sets the tone for your day. And by building a routine that sticks, you are choosing to make every day a little bit better. What happens on those mornings when you wake up feeling tired, unmotivated, or you're simply running late? Does it mean you have to skip your routine entirely? Absolutely not. This is where having a plan for low-energy moments and on-the-go situations is so important. A flexible routine is a routine that lasts. Remember our principle. 5 minutes is better than 0. On a difficult day, your goal is not to have the perfect 15-minute routine. Your goal is simply to do something, anything, for just a minute or two. This keeps your habit alive. Let's create a menu of emergency micro-routines for those tough days. You can choose just one. For example, a 30-second shadowing practice. While you are waiting for the kettle to boil, you can put in your earbuds, play one sentence from an English podcast, and repeat it a few times. That's it. You have practiced both listening and speaking in under a minute. How easy does that sound? Another option is the one photo, one caption practice. Open your phone's photo gallery, find a recent picture, and describe it out loud in 1 or 2 English sentences. For instance, this is a photo from the park on Sunday. The weather was beautiful, and we had a picnic. This simple activity activates your English brain without needing much energy. What photo would you choose to describe right now? You can also have a low-energy version of our 7-minute package. On a tired morning, maybe the movement part is just 2 minutes of sitting in a chair and gently rolling your neck and shoulders. The learning part could be 5 minutes of listening to a calming English story or a guided meditation in English. You are still connecting with the language, but in a very relaxed way. It's about adapting the routine to your energy level, not forcing yourself to do something you don't have the energy for. What if you're traveling or staying somewhere that isn't your home? You can still do a simple on-the-go routine. For instance, while you are in a queue for coffee, you could do a 2-sentence retell of something you read yesterday. Just whisper it to yourself. No one will notice. Or you could write a 3-item to-do list for your day in English in your phone's notes app. These are tiny actions that keep the momentum going no matter where you are. The key is to have these simple 1-minute options ready in your mind. When you feel tired, you don't have to think, "What should I do?" You already have a plan. This makes it so much easier to stay consistent. Your progress isn't made on the easy days. It's made on the difficult days when you choose to show up, even for just a minute. We have come to the end of our journey today on building a morning routine that works for you. I want to thank you for spending this time with me, investing in yourself, and in your English learning. Let's take a moment to look back at the simple but powerful ideas we have discussed. We started by understanding why a good morning is so important. Your morning sets the tone for your day. A calm, intentional start can lead to a more peaceful and productive life. We then looked at the common barriers that stop us, like feeling tired or overwhelmed, and we learned that the solution is to start small. Win big. The principle that 5 minutes is better than 0 is the foundation of a successful habit. We designed a simple routine based on a menu of 4 ingredients: hydration, movement, mindfulness, and learning. You don't need to do everything. You just need to choose what feels good for you. We also learned practical strategies to make our routine stick, like the anti-distraction protocol to beat our phone addiction and the minute escalator plan to grow our habit gently over 14 days. And we talked about the importance of accountability and rewards to keep us motivated for the long term. Finally, we created a plan for those difficult, low-energy days, because a flexible habit is a strong habit. I hope you now feel inspired and equipped to create your own morning routine. Remember, this is your journey. Your routine should be unique to you. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's perfectly okay. The goal is to find joy, peace, and a little bit of learning in the first few moments of your day. For this week, I want to encourage you to try the 14-day escalator plan. Start with just 5 minutes tomorrow. Choose 1 or 2 items from our menu and commit to showing up for yourself. Put a check mark on your calendar every day you succeed. Next week, you can try adding an accountability element. Tell a friend about your new routine and ask them to check in with you next Friday. Remember the most important thing: be kind to yourself. Progress is not a straight line. There will be good days and bad days. What matters is that you keep coming back to your intention. You are building something wonderful for yourself, one small morning at a time. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and join us next time.